Dragons use harpies for lube, and that's how we ended up with the Blitz Dragon. Let's talk about the lore within the mating manual. I makes up the lore for my mangas, The Knight of Salt, Devil's Deal, and Deep Stalker Crow, which comes out physically next month. So let's jump into it. So what is a Blitz Dragon? So within this world, there are three types of main dragons. You have the Tank Dragon, which is themed after European style. Then you have the Eastern Dragon, which is known as a Sky Dancer. And then you have the lore-specific dragon called a Blitz Dragon. Even though they have wings like the Tank Dragon, they don't actually flap to fly. They operate more like jet engines. They do this by using the magic that's within their bodies to actually pull air in and then thrust it out through the backs of their wings. And while all dragons are technically magical by nature, Blitz Dragons operate and are fueled by magic almost entirely. Their combat potential, along with their survivability, is dictated by how much mana is within their magic reserves in those special organs in their body. They're actually a relatively new type of main dragon, and you can thank the Sky Dancer dragon for that. Because in previous videos, we've gone over how the Sky Dancer reproductive system works, but the one thing that we never touched on is female dragon vajajas aren't actually self-lubricating very well. Whenever the male dragon sticks his 20-foot schlong in this 90-foot behemoth, it can be a little bit uncomfortable for the woman. So as time went on, dragons looked for methods of lubrication, but the thing about it is dragon schlongs are 20 feet long, and that's about as long as the vajaja goes. It takes a lot of lube to operate that area. Imagine every time you wanted to get down and dirty, you have to have a couple gallons of baby oil in order to actually make things slide the right way. This is where the turbo harpies actually come into play, because they have a really unique way of reproduction, as the males on their chest have a bunch of cysts that are filled with sperm. Whenever their wings are actually fully engaged, because the wings are actually on the back here, the muscles actually pull a cover over the chest so they don't get slowed down or these bust. Female harpies have a similar situation going on, but they have more like boobs that in place of nipples have points on them. So a male will land on her back and they will start rubbing their back and stomach together, and the nipples will actually puncture these cysts and thus impregnating the bulbs on the back of her. And the babies will grow in those boobicles. Whenever she engages her wings to actually fly, her back is covered up. One day, a female dragon had devoured one of these, and she had engaged in, nighttime play, and noticed that things were a little bit slipperier than usual. So over time, they started doing experiments, and they found that the actual makeup within their body actually triggers a response within the female vahuha to make it slippery. The potency of this is applied even more if you just put it right in there. So what ends up happening? Two situations. Sky Dancer dragons will capture a bunch of harpies, they'll grind them down and beat them into a pulp, and then they will pre-lube the Cave of Wonder. Or another popular method is the female will literally just shove male turbo harpies in her hoo-ha and allow the male Sky Dancer dragon to beat them in a pulp as, they're doing it. How does this relate to the Blitz Dragons? Remember how turbo harpies have the name turbo? It's because their organs operate like an engine. They suck air in and it comes out the bum. Sky Dancer dragons operate like a jet with their wings. They came into existence when a female Sky Dancer dragon literally shoved a bunch of these guys in her thing. It got pounded to a cream in there, but the sperm actually leaked into one of these sperm cones here, and the dragon sperm along with the turbo harpy sperm mixed with an egg, and thus came the very first Blitz Dragon. You thought the story of the apple mimics were weird. See the bio to check out my mangas, which are Gooner free. You can support the mating manual by grabbing a ruby gold or getting an original character into the lore by grabbing a diamond. And as always, grab a copy of The Devil's Deal and Knight of Slaughter because they share the same world.